Hey guys, it's Jaclyn, and today I wanted to film a quick little video and show you how to paint your nails. It sounds like such a basic thing, but I find watching videos on how to paint your nails really helps me paint my nails better. I used to be really bad at painting my nails like back in the day, and I remember I watched a YouTube video on how to paint your nails, and it just like cleared everything up for me and I magically became a way better nail painter. But yeah, anyways, I love doing my nails. I'm really into nail polish, so I thought I might as well film a video on how I paint my nails. So I hope you enjoyed this video and let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do before I get started is take a little bit of nail polish remover and just make sure that my nails are clean. So I'm just gonna go over top of all my nails with a Q-tip and just make sure there's no leftover residue or nail polish from before. So now that my nails are all clean, the next thing that I like to do is to shape them or file them. I was actually trying to grow out my nails for this video, and of course I ended up breaking them all like yesterday, so much for that. A+ for effort, F for execution. But I'm just going to take a nail file, and I'm just using this guy, nothing fancy. The best way to file them is to like file them going one way versus like sawing it back and forth. But honestly, it takes so long, and I rarely end up doing that. But that really helps prevent like splitting in your nails and them breaking basically. So if you have really brittle nails or you find that they break a lot, maybe try doing that. But like I said, I normally end up just using like the sawing motion and just going back and forth like that. So I like to keep my nails pretty square. Okay, so my nails are all filed how I pretty much like them. So the next thing that I would do is use like a little buffing thing and just make sure they're all smooth if there's any like ridges or bumps in my nails. Right now my nails are looking pretty good though, so I don't really need to do this. But if you do find that your nails are really bumpy and ridgy, you can totally buff them out. So you can just use like small circular motions like this, and your nails will all be good to go. Sometimes it's actually a good idea to buff your nails if you find nail polish doesn't stick to them too well, just because it'll kind of make the surface a little bit more textured, so that way the nail polish can really grip to it. Okay, so this next step is actually pretty critical to having like a nice manicure. You really want to make sure that all your cuticles are pushed back and are like nice and even. I'm pretty lucky just because my cuticles don't really like grow out that far, so you can't really see them. But I would recommend getting like a cuticle pusher backer thingy and just kind of like push your cuticles just to make sure that they're nice and even, and that way the nail polish can go on nice and smooth. Okay, so I think I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit just so you can see some more. Okay, so getting into the important part, actually painting your nails. I always like to start with the base coat. I've been really liking to use this Revlon Color Stay base coat, and I actually really like the matching top coat as well. So I'm going to be using those today, but just make sure that you use a base coat because it really helps even out the nail and really just helps the nail polish stick to it and last nice and long. So I always recommend using a base coat. It's also really good too, so that way your nails don't get as stained and as damaged, because nail polish can be pretty damaging on your nails. So I'm just going to do a nice even coat of that all over my nails. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let that dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna go in with my nail polish. Okay, so the nail polish color that I'm going to use today is OPI's Lincoln Park After Dark, and this is just a beautiful deep purple that's like almost a black but not quite. But I thought this would be a really good color just because it's so dark that you'd really be able to see like where I'm painting. So I thought it would help explain what I'm doing. So I just like to start by giving my nail polish a good shake and making sure it's nice and mixed up. Okay, so now that the nail polish is all shaken up, I'm just going to take the nail polish brush, wipe off the one side, just because I find it leaves the perfect amount for my nail size at least. And then I'm going to take the side that has the polish, and I'm going to start at the cuticle. So I like to start by getting the cuticle line really nice and smooth and even. So I like to spend the most time there, and then brush all the way up to the end of the nail. I really find that the least amount of brush strokes that you do, the better it tends to turn out. So if you can really get it done in like one in the middle and then like 2 brush strokes at the side, I really think that's the best way to go about it. So definitely try to do like the least amount of brush strokes. I really think the most important part of a good manicure though is making sure that that cuticle line is really clean, that you don't get any on the skin. So the best way that I like to do is like leave the slightest little gap between my skin and my nail. And I'd rather like have a larger gap between than like it touching the skin, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna focus on leaving that nice little gap from the skin to the cuticle. And you can see here, I actually did get a little bit on the skin. So I'm just gonna take my nail and just kind of scrape very carefully on the skin. Okay, so the first coat of color is all done. I always like to do 2 coats of color though, so I'm gonna go over with another coat of it. But obviously with the second coat, it's gonna be a lot quicker because you've basically already drawn the outline for it, so you just have to color it in again, which is a lot quicker. I know a lot of people find it really hard to paint their other hand as well. If, say, like you're right-handed, obviously painting your right hand is gonna be a little more challenging because you're not as strong with, say, your left hand. The best tip that I have for that is to just keep on practicing and you'll just get better with time. At first I was so bad at painting my other hand, but the more you practice, like anything, the more you do get better at it. Okay, so all of the colors are all done, so I'm just gonna go in with a little Q-tip and just clean up any little mistakes that I might have made. Okay, so as I was waiting for this hand to dry, I actually painted my other hand. But you do want to wait till your nails are about like 80% dry before you do your top coat. With the top coats, I find you do want to be quick with them. You don't really want to take your time because then it'll start to pull off some color. Okay, and the very last step that I like to do for my manicure is go in with a little bit of a cuticle oil. This is the OPI cuticle oil, but there are many other ones on the market, and I'm sure you could just use a little bit of olive oil or some type of oil. It probably does the same thing. But I like this just because your nails and your cuticles tend to get a little bit dry from all like the acetone and the remover and from putting all that nail polish on. So it is nice to leave them nice and moisturized when you're all done. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that you found a little bit of it useful. And I have already managed to scuff 3 of my nails, so I knew I should have sat down on the couch and just watched a show and let them dry. But no, I was eating grapes and going on my laptop and I just ruined them all. So much for that manicure. So that was a waste. I'm gonna have to go and touch these up anyways. But from the bottom of my heart, I hope that you do not smudge your freshly painted nails because I know there is nothing worse. All jokes aside though, I hope you guys have an awesome night. Thanks for watching the video and I will see you guys soon. Bye!